Today on Real Rescues, a woman falls head first onto concrete. She's literally taken leave of her senses.
Can you go back easy, please, darling, please? Can you?
Say again?
Can you go asleep, please, darling, please?
Her injury is so severe that the only way to move her is for Dr. Paul Rees to put her into a coma there and then.
And the motorcyclist who caught his own crash on camera. He was playing daredevil when he smashed into a car at 60 miles an hour and remarkably survived. Hello and welcome to Real Rescues, the programme with special access to Britain's emergency services. Today, we're at the Thames Valley Police Control Centre near Oxford.
The staff here deal with people going through life-changing and life-threatening emergencies, as well as everyday crimes. Later on, Matt here will tell us how one not-so-bright thief left a trail that led police right to his front door.
First, though, a real insight into just how much damage a bang to the head can do. Critical care doctor, friend of the programme, Paul Rees, is here to talk to us about a recent call-out. It was really serious, this one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a very serious head injury, this one.
OK, so what had happened was a woman had fallen from a ladder, banging her head on a concrete floor. And this is what happened when Paul got to her house.
Hello there. Hi there. Hello, the doctors. Hiya. Who's this then? Hiya.
Come off ladder so high on concrete floor.
Oh, just outside here, or? Yeah, OK. Are you knocked out at all?
A little bit delirious.
Really? OK.
Can you go back easy, please, darling, please? Can you?
Say again?
Can you go asleep, please, darling, please? Can you go right, please, darling?
OK, fine.
Please, can you get out of the way, please?
OK. And she fell out here?
In the conservatory,
OK,
yeah.
fine. About how long ago?
Well, probably about 25 minutes.
25 minutes, OK, fine. And what was she like straight away?
Can you go right the way, please?
Yeah,
No,
a bit dazed,
Yeah.
but yeah, we sat up.
She wasn't knocked out there, wasn't
No,
it? Actually,
no, not unconscious at all.
And since then has become a bit more agitated, or?
Yeah, keeps wanting to get up.
Yeah, OK. All right. How are you feeling there? Can I have a little look at your head? She's got a wound there, has she? A wound in the back, yes. Did this...
Steady,
Oh,
can
sorry,
you go out the way, please, darling? Please, 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 go out the way, please, please.
Okay,
Please.
you need to get to hospital, really, and have a little scan.
Please, darling, go somewhere else, please.
Is that
please.
very sore?
Please, please, go and sit
Okay,
with...
fine.
Please,
Can we just
darling.
take your jacket off?
Please.
Would that be all right?
Please.
And then,
Stay sitting down.
Brian, what we'll need to do is get some IV access and give her something to make her feel nice and relaxed.
Please, go
Okay.
somewhere else, please.
Hold on.
Please, leave us alone, please.
It's all right, sweetheart.
Please, leave us alone.
This is all just caused by a little bang on the head, so I wouldn't be too distressed by it. So I'm just going to draw up some medication to make her feel a bit less agitated.
Please, can you leave it?
So this is not uncommon, OK? So
Please.
let's get things sorted for her. Well done.
Please, leave it, please. Please.
Well
Let's
done.
relaxed in a moment.
Please, can you do it, please?
That's great. So I think what we plan to do is actually, the lounge is quite warm, isn't it? And there's actually three-sided access in there, isn't there? So we'll lower a sign there, I think.
Please, leave it, please. Please.
It's actually quite distressing watching that, because I don't know Kim, but she's clearly distressed, isn't she? How soon did you realise this was serious?
Yeah, I think the job is to work out whether it's important or not when you walk through the door, and the way she was acting suggests it was a very serious head injury. Yeah.
And why would she be talking like that then?
Well, her brain is essentially starting to malfunction now, so some swelling in the brain or some bleeding is starting to cause pressure in the brain, and that's what's making her behave abnormally.
And you realised pretty quickly that you were going to have to act soon, did you?
Yeah, it's very clear, looking at her, that we're going to need to give her an anaesthetic and take her off to a specialist unit where she could have a CT scan and possibly an operation to fix that, so we knew that very early on.
OK, so Nigel, her husband, hi there, you were very calm when that was going on. How are you managing to stay so calm?
Automatic pilot, I think you just switch off and you sort of do what you think you have to do, and it's just... I don't know really, to be honest.
I know you were an automatic pilot then, but looking back at it now, is it quite shocking to see what sort of the way she was talking, the way she was acting?
Yes, totally out of character. She's normally confident, bubbly, but this wasn't Kim.
And she'd been on a ladder, hadn't she?
Yes, putting glass in a conservatory roof. The ladder just collapsed from underneath her and she fell back right on the back of her head. From a
And
bed.
how soon did you realise that something had gone wrong? Because at the beginning, was she talking normally?
She was when we got her up to start with. We sat her down on the kitchen chair and she was fine. Then after probably 5 minutes, she started talking gobbledygook and not making sense.
And you realised
We
then?
knew something was wrong.
And we know that you then had to put her into have a general anaesthetic. Why would you do that in that kind of situation? How would it help?
Well, I mean, various reasons. So it would be very difficult to manage her as she was. To even get her to go into the back of the ambulance would be almost impossible. And also, we want to take control of her brain circulation to make sure she's getting the right amount of oxygen. We can control the amount of carbon dioxide to try and reduce the swelling in her brain. So that's the plan with that.
And the fact that she's becoming sort of more doesn't want to sort of do what you're doing, that's making things worse potentially, is it?
Yeah, it makes it very hard to do the treatments we want to do to her in order to get her safe and get her to the hospital. So yeah, it's part of being able to manage her properly.
Okay, so I know you set up a general anaesthetic in the front room. We can see how you did that.
Yeah.
So the reason for doing all this here is just to make sure we protect her brain for the transport, because it's quite a long journey, isn't it, really? That's fine, you're doing very, very well. So plan will be, we give her some drugs, drift her off to sleep, and then ventilate her and take it from there, all right? So let's get all the monitoring attached. Brian, if you're happy, let's give her all of one of those, actually, be fine.
Yep, here we go.
Good, and all of that as a fast bolus.
Yeah.
So we're just going to wait for her to stop breathing. So just wait for her to fasciculate. So little bits of muscle movement there.
Yeah.
Okay, Brian, I'm going to need you with the tube over the bougie. Everybody stay in position. You got that?
I've got that.
Everybody stay put. Go on to 22, 24, that's fine. Bougie out, please.
Go on.
Okay, everybody stay put. Just take the mask off the bag valve mask for me, please. That's lovely.
Something.
Yeah, it's all right, I've got enough string
Inside
here.
line, yeah.
Okay, just hold that and ventilate for me. Good, chest going up and down, tubes fogging nicely, sats are stable. What we can do now is put a collar on her and get the head immobilised properly. Let's plan to be out in the next 2 minutes. It's just the safest way of doing this, really, rather than struggling and fighting throughout the entire journey. It's just not, if there is an injury to the head or to the brain, that makes it worse, so this is just much easier for her.
Is it Southampton?
Safer. We'll go to Southampton General, yeah. Should be all right. Should be all right.
Well, Paul said she'll be all right. She is all right.
Thank goodness.
It's lovely to see you, Kim. Yes, and how are you doing now, first of all?
Yes, not bad.
Really,
Feeling much better.
It was about 9 weeks ago this happened.
Yes.
Tell us, looking through that tape, you were talking in an extraordinary way. Do you remember any of it at all?
No, I remember being up the ladder and holding the glass window to Nigel, but after that, I don't remember the accident at all.
When was the next time you do remember?
Waking in hospital. And I didn't know why I was in hospital.
It all became clear a little bit later,
Yes,
did it?
yes.
And how is it affecting you now?
I do find I get a little tired in the day and a little bit lightheaded at times. My walking is much better because to start with it was very difficult to walk.
Why were you kind of having to learn to walk again?
Yes, it's somehow the injury affects muscle memory, and so you just have to build your confidence to be able to walk again.
Okay, and you'd obviously injured your head. What exactly had you done?
I believe I had a subdural hemorrhage.
Right.
And contusions. Those are the technical terms. And an open head wound to the back of the head.
And all that's all serious stuff, isn't it, Paul?
It is potentially serious stuff, yeah. So some bleeding within the brain and some bruising, and potentially that could have needed an operation to fix it. Hence the importance of taking her directly to a hospital where they could have the facility to do that.
And just tell us about that general anaesthetic, because you sort of put her into a chemically induced coma, did you?
Yeah, if you like, we're switching off the brain's demand for oxygen. The brain is struggling for oxygen, so we turn that off by giving an anaesthetic. We can control her blood pressure, control her oxygen levels, and then safely get her to the hospital.
Normally this would be done in a hospital, and you had not so many people, but Nigel, you were helping out, weren't you?
I was
as
there,
well?
yes.
What were you doing?
Holding the drip, I think, as far as I can remember. Yeah.
And that presumably is helping him, is it, at the time to be calm?
I mean, he was very helpful, very calm, and able to help us with giving the anaesthetic by acting as a drip stand. So yeah, it was very useful on the day.
Is he a bit of a hero for you? You always
Yes.
was, specifically. More so now. Tell us about, you also having problems, aren't you, with your sense of smell and taste. So how is that affecting you?
Well, it's something that initially I wasn't aware of because of the injury, and when I came home from hospital, I realised, and it's it's something that I'm getting used to. It's,
Because I guess you sort of we all take it for granted being able to smell, don't we? So what sort of things are you missing?
just smelling clean laundry, my girls, my husband.
Yeah.
It's just a bizarre sense not to have.
And just quickly, we were talking a little bit earlier, and you said that you knew it wasn't normal because you weren't swearing on the tape. Is that fair enough?
And I'm glad I wasn't.
Yes, I think that's probably fair enough. Thank you very much. I'm so glad you're better. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Now, a story which